All right, so what I did was I made all of my images exactly the same. So on this page, when I click the button, they advance to the next one, and you'll notice that all of those images are exactly the same size. The pictures of the cast is a little bit smaller, but there's a little green or orange or red border around um, those, but they're all precisely the exact same size. So on a previous video, I showed you how you can edit that using Pixlr or Microsoft Paint or any program that you like to resize them. And the nice thing about that is that this becomes a picture frame, and they all fill that frame completely. Well, what if you didn't want to do that, or what if, man, that's too much work. So this is a different page that I've got, and same starter image. This is a rock, paper, scissors, these images that are coming in. And the same thing kind of applies, but this paper is huge. And so, in fact, I have to kind of scroll to get to the button. And I don't like doing that. So what I'm going to do is you can edit these or change the size of your picture in code as well. And I wanted to show how to do that, I think. So here is my code for those three images, and I'm cycling through those three. So it's just rock, paper, scissors, and then it's going back through. So what the images are isn't really the critical piece. The main thing that is going on is I'm assigning that document by get element by ID to the next one in my list, and then if it equals the max value of that list, then I'm going to change that. But picture is this variable, and we're hanging on to that information where that location is. And so in addition to changing the SRC, I can also change the height or the width or any other property, the border color, any other property that an image object might have. So what I really want to avoid is I don't want that button to get pushed down to the below the screen. I don't want the user to have to scroll, in other words, to find the button to get to the next one. So just as we set the SRC of pick, all right, which is still that get element by ID, I can also I could do width. I'm going to do height, however. So the height of that I'm going to set so that if I did the width, all right, so now the widths are all going to be the same. But again, that button may get pushed down. But if I set the height to this exact same height, that probably isn't going to happen. I have no idea whether or not 300 is going to work. I think it should. It might be too small, might be too big. So I can go back in here and change that. So I need to do that every time. When I set the SRC to the next image, it will bring that image in, and it's going to be the full size that the image actually resides. So if in addition to changing the SRC, I also set the height, now both, irrespective of what the image is, could be large or small or what have you, it's then going to make sure that the height is going to be 300 rather. Notice that I'm not doing width. The width is going to be changed proportionally. So I could change either just the width or just the height. I could change both of them. But when I do that, now the pixels aren't square anymore. They're going to be rectangular, either taller than they are wide or wider than they are tall. One of those two things. So this is really all I got to do to get that image, I think, to load correctly. So here I'll refresh. There's that picture. There's the paper. It's smaller. The button moved maybe a little bit, but now they're all going to be exactly in that same spot. So the width, obviously the scissors, that's a much wider picture than the rock or the paper. But that part doesn't really, I don't mind that one as much. You might decide, 300 is very nice, but I could be bigger than that. So feel free to tinker with that to get that to be the size that you want. So here's what 400 would look like, I think. Oops. Yep. So refresh that, and there you go. There's 500, right? So that's how you can change the size of your images in code. Again, that you need to make sure that you do that every time that it's clicked, not based on each image, right? So there you go.